back for another one. Just gonna go over today's trade. I wanted to post a full on YouTube video about yesterday. I have some good news on that, but I can't. I probably will do that later today. I already went through the daily routine. So today's trade recap. That's not my trade. Well, it is, but it's not that far. Daily, as you can clearly tell here, was on gold. If you haven't noticed, but yeah, daily structure here is bullish. 4-hour structure was also bullish. It just flipped right here. I'll get into the finer print details here. 4-hour flip pre-New York around 5 a.m. So at this point here, I was like, cool, early's bullish, 4 hours bullish, daily's bullish, right? Now, what else would I like to see coming into New York Open? I marked out all of these key areas. So you had the break of structure here, well, change of character here internally. Then you had this break of structure here. So from here, there's this order block here that I would have loved to see get mitigated. There are also these areas of liquidity that I also marked out. Because if you'd be a long person here, you'd likely be having your stops under this low or this low, and you'd have this imbalance here if you wanted to mitigate all the way down to this order block. Either or was good for me because price was already within equilibrium. Price was pricing very, very nicely within here. Wasn't impulses. So I was like, cool. Let me scale down to the 5. From there, this is 8 a.m. New York Open, marked out the order block here. This area of liquidity and this area of liquidity. We saw this 5-minute break of structure here off that sweep. So in essence, I was like, nice liquidity sweep. 5-minute break of structure plus 5-minute order block and validation, because here you had this 5-minute break, right? And at that point, I was like, cool, but I can't enter here either because the risk to reward was just ass. So the logic from there was, okay, here's the nearest imbalance right here, right? From this imbalance, I got the entry from this imbalance and the reaction off of it. And I was like, this was the breaker block that was invalidated here. Well, it was more so the full thing here, but whatever. That got invalidated. So my invalidation point was just going to be the invalidation of that breaker. And like I said, like last time, had this stopped me out, I could still afford to enter again and get still major risk to rewards, because the whole idea is how much would I have lost had I had my stops here? And I would have had a 2.8 RR. Usually that results about a 1.4 when you do your partials all the way to your final take profit. So definitely happy with where I put my stops because I'd finished it with a 7R. So that means that this trade technically made me a 4R, because you can probably just do the math on these, but whatever. I take 50% off on each stop. And yeah, this was the first trade that I took, however, and this one got me, and I low-key rushed this. It wasn't the best trade from my part. I saw this internal break of structure and I knew that the 5-minute was bullish. So I was like, okay, 5-15 hour, I can just trade the market drift right now, because I knew that 8:30 would likely either result in a pump or a sweep. So I was like, my first take profit was actually within here. So I was just like, cool, let's see what happens. Ran off the break of structure and then reaction off of these levels. So I was like, cool, let's go. Ended up stopping me out, and I was like, fine, because what I was targeting was here. Like I said, this is where good risk to reward comes in. Had this hit, I would have been up minimum like 5-6R. So losing 1R for that makes complete sense. So we saw the sweep, the break of structure to the upside, filling of the imbalance, and the breaker. I was like, perfect. Off the reaction, enter, hit take profit. This was also given to the Discord. They got it all live. Just bought gold 833 before the pump. I got stopped out on this. This was the second one, 846. Same thing. And this one went. All take profits were hit. 4 and 2 on the week. This is just the list of weekly trades that we took. I wouldn't say the start of the week was that good. I mean, 6 trades and 7R doesn't really look the best. However, it's nevertheless very solid. Finish the week up big. We'll take the 7R. Yeah, that's that. Like, follow, subscribe, join the Discord if you want to learn with me personally. It's all free. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. I just want you to get better. So yeah, and I'll post the other stuff about the agency and the e-com store later on today.